In the beginning, we are introduced to our main character, Kenji, who is extremely helpful and kind. While walking to school, he hears a commotion and finds bullies harassing a classmate. They threaten to tear up the only photo the boy has of his mother because he has no money to give them. To save the memory, Kenji gives the bullies $100. The boy thanks Kenji, calling him kind, which makes Kenji smile. When asked why he is so helpful, Kenji says it is his duty, and he has his reasons. At school, everyone greets him warmly, including a beautiful girl named Susan. Kenji has a crush on her. Susan asks Kenji to help her take out the trash, and along the way, she praises his kindness. Suddenly, they encounter the bullies spending Kenji's money. Their leader, Jang, calls Susan over. Susan is terrified, and Kenji suspects Jang is threatening her. However, Susan tells Kenji to leave, insisting she is fine. Kenji hides and watches, only to be shocked and heartbroken. Susan and Jang are dating. Kenji feels scammed. Later, he confronts Susan, asking if she is really dating a bully like Jang. Susan admits it, explaining through a flashback that her father was an abusive alcoholic. She used to say she'd marry a kind man like Kenji, but now she claims kind men are boring, while bad boys like Jang are attractive and exciting. Devastated that 10 years of being good failed him, Kenji has a breakdown. He grabs Susan's hand and cries, claiming he was just acting kind and that his family is actually a line of gangsters. Susan thinks he's joking and laughs it off. After seeing Susan flirt with Jang right in front of him, Kenji decides to truly become a gangster. Kenji returns to his household, which actually is a gangster family. His uncles are thrilled. They've been waiting 10 years for him to embrace his dark side. His uncle tells him to drop the good boy vibes, change his clothes, and stop smiling. Kenji puts on a gold chain and thug-like attire. Back at school, Kenji acts cold and ignores his friends. Susan is confused and hurt by his new attitude. Later, Kenji skips class and catches Jang harassing another girl named Yai. Kenji saves Yai by throwing a stone at Jang's head and running away with her. Yai realizes who Kenji is and finds his mean act funny, though she thanks him. Kenji soon realizes his uncle's precious ring is missing. Jang has it. Kenji's gangster family prepares for war when they see Kenji's bruised face, but the eldest uncle insists Kenji must win this fight himself. To train, Kenji tries to break his kind habits, like helping the elderly or following traffic laws. He struggles, but after seeing Susan happy with Jang again, his resolve hardens. He is determined to become the ultimate bad boy. The scene shifts to some girls bullying the same boy Kenji saved before. The girls mock Kenji, telling him to get lost. The boy hopes Kenji will save him again, but Kenji, trying to be a gangster, demands the boy hand over all his money instead. Kenji's second uncle watches from afar, emotional and proud that Kenji is growing up. The girls are impressed by Kenji's manliness, but Yeji is unhappy. Kenji takes the money and distributes it among the girls. They claim Kenji is now on Jang's level, which pleases him. Later, second uncle bumps into Jang and notices his missing ring on Jang's finger. He resists the urge to beat him up only because he remembers the first uncle's rule. Kenji must fight his own battles. At school, the teacher summons Kenji, demanding to meet his father because of his delinquent behavior. Kenji lies, saying his father is out of town, and offers to bring his uncle instead. At home, the three uncles play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to go. Second uncle wins. The next day, second uncle shows up in formal gangster attire. Everyone in the street greets him with fear/respect, embarrassing Kenji. In the teacher's office, the staff is terrified of second uncle. However, the head teacher tries to be brave and takes him to a private room. To Kenji's surprise, the head teacher ends up praising Kenji as a mischievous boy just to stay on the uncle's good side. When the uncle asks about bullies stealing valuable items, the ring, the terrified head teacher lies and says the school is perfectly safe. Second uncle leaves, frustrated that he couldn't find the thief, while Jang is already planning to sell the ring to buy a motorbike. Back in class, Kenji is on a mission. He must beat up someone weaker than him to complete his training. He looks for a target, but realizes everyone, even his friends, has a higher power level than his level 1. He finds the level 0 boy he saved before and tries to sacrifice him. He grabs the boy's collar, but he can't bring himself to punch him. He realizes his kind person heart isn't dead yet, and he feels miserable for even trying. The tension peaks when the boy tells the class what Kenji did. Susan confronts him, heartbroken. Jang, seeing them talk, gets jealous and slaps Kenji. He then punches Kenji in the stomach. When Jang threatens to hit Susan, Kenji screams at him to stop, calling him human trash. Suddenly, Song, the strongest student, wakes up. Just as Jang's friends hold Kenji down for a beating, Song intervenes. Song delivers a dominant, massive punch that sends Jang flying across the floor, leaving him in a heap. Jang's friends carry him to the nurse's office, terrified of Song's power. Jang, humiliated, realizes he can't beat Song in a fair fight, so he plans to target those close to him. Meanwhile, Song takes Kenji to the nurse. When Kenji asks why Song didn't stop him from bullying the boy in the bathroom, Song says, "I figured you had a reason. You don't seem like the type to hit someone for nothing." This crushes Kenji with guilt. Yeji tries to get closer to Kenji's friends to learn what kind of girls he likes. They bluntly tell her he hates bullies like her. Desperate, she rushes to the nurse's office to check on him. Kenji pretends to sleep when she arrives. She leaves food for him, but then Susan enters. Seeing Yeji's gift, Susan jealously throws it in the trash. When the doctor asks how Kenji got hurt, Susan lies to protect her boyfriend, Jang, saying Kenji fell down the stairs. Kenji, hearing this, cries silently, heartbroken by her betrayal. Kenji's father, the leader of the Firebear gang, returns after 3 years. Disappointed that Kenji is getting beaten up, he gives an ultimatum: complete the successor training, or I disown you. Motivated by his desire to protect Susan and his rage against Jang, Kenji accepts. Kenji undergoes brutal training under his second uncle, a former athlete. They discover Kenji has a monster grip developed from 10 years of giving massages to his uncles. Song joins the training as a sparring partner. Over 2 weeks, Kenji transforms into a muscular, skilled fighter. During this time, the second uncle finds Jang trying to sell the stolen ring and disciplines him by shaving his head and terrifying him. Kenji returns to school looking like a different person, muscular and intimidating. He corners Jang in an alley. Jang, still arrogant, tries to punch him, but Kenji realizes Jang's punches are weak compared to Song's. Kenji crushes Jang's hand with his grip, reminding him that he is no longer the good boy, normal student. He is the successor of the Firebear gang. The news of Kenji's gangster family spreads like wildfire. Yeon, the student council president of Jiran High, is shocked but quickly realizes Kenji's kind act was likely a cover to hide his identity. He fears the school's reputation will be ruined if other schools find out. As Kenji enters his classroom, the atmosphere has turned toxic. The very students he used to protect now call him a psycho and a scary gangster. Even Susan is shocked. Kenji is devastated. The reputation he built over 10 years has vanished in seconds. He remembers his uncle's warning. Being kind is hard, but becoming a bad guy takes only seconds. The most painful blow comes from Kenji's best friend Yun. Yun is furious that Kenji kept his family a secret, especially since Yun hates gangs, having seen news of the Hidden Dragon gang arrests. Yun tells Kenji, "I don't want to hang out with a gangster," and abandons him. Kenji collapses in tears, feeling like he has lost everything. The student council president calls Kenji to the roof. He tells Kenji that his presence ruins the school's environment and suggests he stop coming to school. A hardened Kenji retorts, "I'll do whatever I want," realization hitting him that people only liked him when they didn't know the real him. Meanwhile, Kenji's uncles find Jiang and threaten to kill him if he causes more trouble. Jiang, humiliated and terrified of the adults, realizes he can't fight Kenji directly. He decides to target Kenji's weakness, Susan. He calls her, planning to use her feelings to gather information and get his revenge. Song finds Yoon and tries to talk sense into him. He explains that Kenji probably hid the truth because he knew people would treat him exactly how they are treating him now. Yoon realizes his mistake and feels guilty for his harsh words. He decides to apologize, but as he returns to class, bullies from another class arrive, looking for the gangster's son to pick a fight.